we're Val and Sadie, and this is our van. Let's take a look. The bees are really bad out there, so I'll do introductions in here. So I'm Valerie, and this is my cat Sadie, and we live in this van together. This is a 2015 Ford Transit van. My friend and former partner Nuri and I converted it together back in 2019. It took us about a year to do everything ourselves. I'm super proud of our work. We didn't know anything about building anything really before we started, but we were very determined and we watched a lot of YouTube videos, lots of trial and error. But we did it. About 1 million trips to Home Depot. Within a year, we finally hit the road. We left Atlanta and traveled around Florida, and then that's when the pandemic struck. So we decided to stay put for a little while in Alabama the summer of 2020, and then we got the travel bug again and we headed west for the first time. I fell in love with it. We really wanted to go to the Grand Canyon, so we went there. And we just traveled all around the Southwest and decided to split ways. He decided to continue traveling with his own van, and I kept this van, and I decided to spend winters in Arizona and summers further north. Last summer I went to the Pacific Northwest, so I traveled through California, Oregon, Washington, Montana, Idaho, and Utah. It was amazing. And then I've spent the winter in Arizona working and just enjoying the beauty here. I like the mild winters. I do not like the cold. I like being warm. I just love the desert. I love the dryness of it. I love the plant life here. There's not much plant life, but what is here I do love. I love the cacti and all the little bushes. I don't know, there's just something about the desert I love. I feel like when I go out into the desert, I feel like I can recharge. I could just be here for days and days and not get bored. Enough about that. Let's get into the van tour. Finally, after 2 years of living in the van, I'm finally doing an official van tour. I don't have a cameraman, so hopefully this works out well with the tripod and just myself. So here's the entry to the van. I usually don't use this, like if I'm in town, I come through the front door and this stays closed. Normally I have a bunch of stuff hanging on the hooks here, but when I'm out in the desert, out in the wilderness, I love being able to slide the door open and have this as my like front porch. I have just my little rug here, and when I'm not using it, I keep it folded up and it just sits right here on the step. We have this nice bug screen that goes all around the door and it magnetizes in the middle. So that's super nice to just have the door open. You don't have to worry about bugs coming in and out. I'll talk about the kitchen. So we do have running water in here. This is the kitchen sink here, whether it's just a trickle, which I usually use, or full blast. But of course we want to conserve water because it's not that easy to find water when you live in a van. There is a 40-gallon water tank that is under the bed. I'll show you where it is later, but that is where the water comes. There's a water pump attached to it, and when we turn the faucet on, it comes out the faucet. We've got a lot of stuff on Amazon, but this is from Amazon and it's worked really well the last 2 years. It also has like a spray nozzle, so that's nice as well. I personally love it. I haven't had no trouble with it. It moves around like so. There is a hot and cold on here, but it is kind of a pain to do hot water in here. Like, it's a hassle. It kind of takes a while, so I just use the cold water and it's just fine. This is the soap dispenser and it just comes out. You just fill it down there and stick it right back in and just push it for the soap. I use it for hand soap as well, but it's dish soap. This guy was supposed to be, when we first started living in the van, we thought we were going to do a reverse osmosis system, and we did have one under the sink. It was this giant tank, like 5 gallons or something. And once we started using it, we realized it was wasting too much water. The water it would filter was so small compared to the water it would filter out and waste, and we realized that was just not gonna work. We just got rid of that altogether, but we still have the little spigot sitting here. I might take it out one day and put a different kind of water filter here, like a Berkey. Got the farmhouse ceramic sink. I really like it. Like, it's really nice. Got the Subway tile. This is real tile. I learned how to tile to make this Backsplash, and I love it. This was like an after thing. We felt like something was missing up here, so we decided to create this rack like a year after we were living in the van. We made it specially for these jars to fit in. They have like quinoa and a lot of different dried goods, lentil, and they stay in place really well, and it freed up a lot of space up here. And I just have a fake plant right here that I recently put. I really like how it looks there. This is a storage for like pots and my colander. This kind of thing is really great in the van, the pop out stuff. So it's a pop out colander. Saves a lot of space. Got cups and plates here. So we started out using ceramic bowls and plates that we had in our apartment, and within a year or so they all broke some way or another. So either plastic or stainless steel. I try not to use plastic as much as possible, because even if you reuse it, when you wash plastic or use plastic, little tiny microplastics come off and wash down the drain and get into our water supply. So that's why I try not to use any kind of plastic as much as possible. Right now it's not possible for me to completely cut plastic out, but if I can, I try to. So these are stainless steel plates. They work just fine. They're nice and lightweight, they don't break, and they're not plastic. And we got cups here. These are cool. These are stainless steel mugs, and they're thermal mugs as well, so they'll keep your coffee hot pretty much all day, and they come with a lid. Mars. I have to show you this mug that my mom got me for Christmas this year. It's so adorable. It's me and Sadie going camping. We're sitting on the log by the fire. It's so cute. And these are just held up by these gas struts and held closed by magnets. I keep like salt and pepper in here. We have these retractable little bars that keep everything from falling out, because before we had these, anytime we'd open the cabinets and everything would just fall out after it was moving around in the van a lot while it was driving. Yeah, we got like sesame seed oil and just some like dry food goods and stuff in there. And in here, just some more food. I don't think y'all need to see all that. In here, it's just a small little cabinet. We got some bungee cords holding everything in place, and it's just like my pharmacy. And then we have another storage here. We pretty much made use of any space we could turn into storage. We pretty much did. Nuri did a great job of designing. Very functional, but also aesthetic. And this is just like a shelf to stick like things that I use on a regular basis, or snacks basically. And then we added this later. It's been really nice to help keep things off of the countertops. Just have like the water boiler, which I use for tea, and the coffee maker. It's like the AeroPress one, and the honey, and just some other stuff. I keep my chip clips clipped back here, so they're just ready to go, because your girl likes a snack. And then we have our dish towel. I just use this to like wipe up water or wipe my hands after I wash them. I use this a lot. This is my George Foreman grill. It does use AC power, so I use the inverter to use it, but I use it to toast bread or heat things up. I learned that I can heat pizza up by putting 2 slices face down together and putting it on the grill so that the cheese doesn't get stuck on the grill. I've gotten pretty creative with this unique space. This is the induction stove. It's completely electric. It runs off of the batteries that are charged by the solar panels. It's nice that it's just kind of part of the countertop. I don't like the idea of using propane, but what I don't like about this is it's not very strong, and it's kind of like, it's either like too low or too high. It's hard to find a medium. Some things I can't cook, like I don't cook a lot in the van just because of that, really. I just stick to like scrambling eggs or boiling things or heating up soup or something. It's good for those kind of simple things, but cooking a full meal I would not recommend. The way it works is turn the inverter on, and the plug is already plugged in underneath. So first step for the induction stove, you have to put something on here for it to work. the pan or pot has to be induction stove friendly. So certain materials, certain pans will not work on the induction stove. It took us a while to find this one. It's called green pan, but it works. And I don't want to use aluminum, so it's stainless steel, and this stuff seems to be pretty safe. It's not, I don't think it's Teflon, but that's just what we came up with. So you put that on the burner, you push the power button. I do temp, and then it comes on. And I usually go all the way, it goes from 150 degrees, and it can go all the way up to 450. But I usually don't use that much. So just to scramble eggs, it's either 150 or 180. And you turn it off. And it cools off really quickly as well. So the countertops we made ourselves. We wanted like a butcher block style, but it was kind of hard to find a butcher block that we liked, and also they're kind of pricey. And we wanted to stay on budget with this van build as much as possible, so anytime we could kind of do it ourselves, we did. We just took planks of wood and kind of affixed them together to make it looks solid, but it's actually individual pieces of wood. Stained it, you know, sanded it, stained it, and then we put polyurethane on top of it to protect it. And then put these boards all around, kind of as a border or backsplash. So far they've held up pretty good. This is the light switch for the kitchen. You can either turn it on and off with a button, or you can also dim it. I like how we decided to go with dimmers for the lights. I really like that, because at night sometimes I just want a little light, just some low lighting to set the mood, and it's just really nice not having like bright lights on you all the time. I think this was an afterthought, or like we were going to use this for something, but we ended up not using it for anything, so it's a switch to nothing. And then we have our DC outlet. You plug it in. It kind of shows you like the amps it's using. You can like charge your phone and do the DC things here. I usually have a fan here when it's hot. I'll have a fan right here. Actually, I'll show you. So I just clip the fan on like this and put it around and plug it in like that. Behind, we have the kitchen window to look out at the sunset, and Mr. Cactus right there. Hi. He's so friendly. And I like this window. It's adorable, and also you can open and close it so you can let the air pass through the screen there. We got these curtains. Along with all the other curtains in the van are thermal fabric, so it helps regulate the temperature, whether it's cold or hot. It helps keep things insulated and regulated. So down here we have the refrigerator. It's just an isotherm fridge. It's plenty of space for 2 people. 1 person, it's even too much for me, honestly, but also I don't cook that much right now. There's a tiny freezer. It needs to be defrosted right now. You can see it is completely filled with ice because I need to defrost it. I don't use it that much anyway. And then we have a couple shelves and the drawer for the fruit and vegetables. And then you got some condiment shelves here as well. So far I've had no trouble with it. It's been great. I love this fridge. We did have to replace this cover because it got really warped and kind of scratched. And so we bought a piece of plastic, cut it out the right size, and spray painted it black. And it's been a lot better than the original one. So under here, excuse me, Sadie, we just have the under sink storage. We got the trash can and cleaning supplies and some extra trash bags. And here we got a lot of things I don't use much, but only thing I really use regularly is the dish pan. I love this because it's retractable and it just pops out like that for the dishes to dry. Pop it right back in. I got my Vitamix blender, and this is my mixer that I use to make bath bombs. Just got some other things in here. Probably things I should throw away. And then this is the kitchen drawer. I've had a lot of trouble keeping it together. It keeps wanting to pop off. I mean, it works great most of the time. It's been great. These have had to been replaced. These little hooks that keep them in place. But yeah, I use this drawer a lot. But overall, it's great. It works great. Got my cutting board that I use a lot. And then, of course, just all my utensils that I need for food. But this uses the tongue and groove hooks to keep it closed while the van is moving. I've had trouble with these because they move around, and sometimes when I close it, it doesn't line up all the way, but right now it works. Right now it works. Fingers crossed. Stay. So up here is just overhead storage, just kind of a catch-all. It goes back pretty far back here. Big items here. This is storage for things I don't use that much, like hoodies and bulky things that don't really fit in my other drawers. I keep the tripod here. We have 2 smoke detectors. It's a smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector. I just had to replace the batteries yesterday after 2 years. This was also something we added later. We just felt like this space could be used better. So we built this shelf and made sure that I can fit under it standing up straight. And we just have this jar that this belonged to my grandma. It's from the 70s. I just really like the aesthetic of it. I just keep rocks and things that I find, small things that I want to keep in here. I use these hemp dryer balls instead of dryer sheets because they're just better for the environment. They don't have toxic chemicals, and they work really well too as dryer instead of dryer sheets. They get the static out and the lint and everything. And of course I have my yoga mat up here. It's a perfect place to keep that. And I have my only real plant in the van right here. And I have a book here. The idea was to have this as like a bookshelf, but to like pick up books along the way out as I travel. So far I found one that I like here. Honestly, it's not a good book, but I like the way it looks, and I just want to show you. It's from the 70s, and I like the typography of it. I like the way it looks, so it stays. And I added these hooks about a year ago, and they've come in handy like quite a bit because I just hang all my crap here. When I'm in the van, there's always stuff hanging here, coats and clothes. It's like a catch-all. My purse, all my bags, like everything just hangs there, which is good because it kind of gets everything out of the way, so I'm not like setting stuff everywhere on the countertops. So this is where I keep Sadie's long leash. It gets really long. I just tie it here and attach her harness to this part, and she can just like walk all over around. But especially in the desert when there's not that many trees and stuff, I just keep her off the leash, and she mostly just hangs around. She doesn't go very far, so we haven't used that in a long time. But we did when we were first living in the van to like kind of get Sadie used to everything, knowing that this is her home and all that. I gave up having a real plant here, so I have a fake plant here. Got a nice hook here. Usually all this stuff is here, but I moved it for the sake of the tour. I have this curtain. It's kind of like a blackout curtain. This separates the front from the back. You know, it's also a thermal curtain. I just pull it back in order to get from the front to the back. So my shoes are here. I used to have my shoes in what's now Sadie's bathroom. I realized I didn't use that much. I don't use these shoes that much. I have like 3 pairs of shoes that I wear all the time, and I just keep them in the floor in the front. But this is where I decided to store my shoes for now. So yeah, these are the shoes I don't wear that much. Hanging on the back of the chair. So far it's working out really well. This is a swivel seat, which I'll show you later. It turns around. Under the seat is where the heater is. This is a Webasto heater, and the heat comes out of this vent right here, and it heats the whole van within minutes. The heater is like all up in there. We have insulation on top of it, and then the cord runs here and all the way up this wall, and this is the control panel for it. So it just turns on, and you can adjust the temperature like so. but I'm gonna keep it off because it's not cold right now. So the front's kind of a mess right now because I'm doing the van tour. I had to put things somewhere. The front is pretty basic. I have the Heatshield window covers to help with the temperature. It really helps, especially like in the summer or when it's hot. The windows, like, it keeps the van a lot cooler when I use these, so it's really nice. When they're not in use, then I usually keep them up here with these bungee cords. It holds them in place up here. I have some storage back here. There's a shelf here that I keep like some tools. I have like a screwdriver, tape measure there. I have some hooks back here. I'm hanging my purse there at the moment. And I have a full mirror back here, a full length mirror that kind of hangs out here. It's right here. Down here is where I keep my broom and vacuum. So when I have to keep the doors closed, like in the city, I use the vacuum to clean, and then when I'm like out here in the desert and I can have the door open, I use the broom to just sweep everything out the door. Look how beautiful it is right now. God, I love the desert. It's so beautiful. The sunsets are amazing. I might have to film the rest of this tomorrow because the sun's setting and we're losing daylight. It's okay. We'll do what we can. The key hook, we just like, I keep my keys here so I always know where they are. And then I have Sadie's harness and leash, and I keep her collar here when she's not using it as well. Got my calendar here. It's covering up a big hole because that's where Nuri's computer was. I just use a calendar to cover it up. And this is of course the inverter. It's where we turn it on and off. I'm gonna turn it off because we're not using it now. And these are the lights that are for like the rest of the van. 2 under here and 1, 2, 3 here. That's what that panel controls. And it's also dimmer. So that's super nice. So moving into this area, this is the office slash closet. Here is where I have some office supplies. I have a small printer and printer paper and tape, and I keep washcloths here because it's really easily accessible. This, I just finished this project. This is where my shoes were before, and I turned it into Sadie's litter box because I did have Sadie's litter box right here in the open, and it was just such an eyesore. I got sick of looking at it, so I finally moved it into here. So we have her litter box down here. I cut a hole out so she can get in and out, and then I moved the shelf that was here up here. So we have 2 smaller shelves. I have like all Sadie's stuff here. It's all consolidated. This is her little space. We got her clippers when we shave her for the summer. We got her toys, her brush. We got her food up here. This little guy is perfect for if you have pets, especially one that sheds like Sadie. Instead of using a lint roller all the time, this thing works really well. You just like roll it on fabric. Like I use it on the rug a lot. And pillows, and it does a really good job of getting all the lint and fur, and it gathers it here. You just open it up and you just pull all the lint out to clean it out and clean it again. So it's reusable. You're not using a bunch of lint roller paper. I still have a lint roller for certain things, but this is good for furniture. So here we use the structure of the van to create some shelving. Instead of making it like just flat across, we just decided to use this for our advantage. So yeah, I just have little trinkets and things. I have my great grandmother's pot here that I have a fake plant in. I have like my tape, nail polish, nail file, and over here I just have like my pens and scissors readily available, my hairbrush, lint roller, and then I have like camera stuff here and cords. This is where I keep my jewelry on this hook here. This hook used to be for Nuri's screen when the van was moving. he would attach the screen to this hook to keep it from swaying back and forth because it was on a swivel arm. In this compartment, I have a bucket with like my toothbrush, toothpaste, and eye makeup remover, mouthwash, things like that, toiletries, hair dryer. I don't use it much, but it's there, and some storage for towels. And in this one, I don't use it as much, but I have like some hair stuff, Q-tips, like hair rollers and things like that. Up here is some storage for small things. It's got the bungee to keep things from falling out. We got like some pillowcases, extra pillowcases. I keep some clothes up here that I don't wear that much. And here I have like towels and just some extra bedding and cloths. This is where I keep all my clothes. This is my closet. I do like underwear and bathing suits here, tops here, and bottoms here. So they're just in drawers like this. And I keep everything rolled up real tight. Moving along, here we have the bathroom. This is our full bathroom. This is the Nautilus retractable self-cleaning door. Of course, I don't use it much, just being alone in here. And I don't use the shower right now. It just opens and closes like so. And it's so nice. I really love it. I like how it looks and functions. The switch for the bathroom light is here. It just clicks on like that. And we have a rainfall shower head and the handheld one. So it's super fancy. This can be a shower. We just take all this stuff out. We do have a water heater. It's a small one under the bed, so there is hot water. It lasts for about maybe 5 minutes. It takes probably 10 minutes to heat up all the way. It takes some time and some effort, but it is possible. I don't use the shower right now because one, I have a gym membership to Planet Fitness and I just use the showers there, and there are a lot around town. Two, the floor cracked. I took the floor out and I just haven't gotten around to replacing it yet. I don't want to use water when I don't have a shower floor because it might mess up the subfloor. This is a Nature's Head composting toilet. Poo and pee part is separate, and that's what keeps it from smelling, because when you mix those two together, that's when you get the gross sewer smell. I love it because it doesn't smell, and it just, honestly, it's in the name, Nature's Head. Like, it feels very natural using it. Instead of using a regular toilet, you just flush it all away. You don't even know where it goes. Like, it feels so connected to your body and nature when you have to actually handle what comes out of your body. I'll show you how it works. There is a fan that exhausts the water out. It exhausts what it needs to exhaust out, and the pipe goes out of the van, so it exhausts out of the van. This is a wire that connects to the electricity in order to run the fan, and it just runs constantly from the batteries. This is the pee part, and the poo part is separate in the back. So the pee is caught in this container, and I have two. So when this one starts getting full, I take it out and I switch it with this one. I just take the lid, put it on that one, and we just switch them out. And I put it in this bag so it's nice and concealed if I need to take it to Planet Fitness or someplace to dump it in the toilet. So when you use it, you just open the lid. Girls and guys have to sit while peeing, FYI. Otherwise it's gonna go everywhere and it's gonna be gross. So you make sure your pee goes through those two holes so that it goes down to the pee tank. And then to use number two, you just flip this lever to open it, and you do your business. You close it, and then you turn this crank to mix it all together with the media in there. Yeah, when it's all mixed well, and sometimes it can be a little hard. When it's mixed well and a good amount of moisture in there, it's not too dry, it's not too moist, then it's gonna work perfectly and it's not gonna smell. It doesn't smell like poo unless you just pooed, but like after it like mixes together, it smells like the forest when it's just rained. I love it personally. I empty the pee tank probably once a week, and then the poo, it can go like 6 months with just me. You just put the toilet paper in a trash can. I use this little guy with the foot thingy. It's nice. And the shower floor we made, it comes out. It's just PVC with these wooden planks going across, and we stained it and polyurethaned it. We just have these shelves for, you know, toilet paper, toiletries. Oh, and to flush the toilet, the pee, this is half vinegar, half water solution, and you just use this spray bottle, give it a few spritzes, and that helps keep the odor down. It kind of cleans the bowl a little bit. And this is all just plexiglass. I would recommend using something else because it breaks very easily. It works okay, except for, yeah, like the floor cracked and it has to be replaced. Of course, we have the mirror here, and I just use double-sided sticky tape to keep it on. So this used to come all the way across the countertop, and there was a cabinet underneath, but we decided to turn it into a seat. To the seat now, and to fully use it, we just pull it out a little bit and sit down. As a desk and write here or eat. I like this because if I have a guest over, they have somewhere to sit and just chat. Yeah, it's kind of an awkward spot for a seat, but I like it. And of course we use it for storage. This comes out and I have all of my sewing stuff here. So my sewing machine is down there and all my sewing stuff and a lot of other supplies that go with my business. My business is Garden Goat, in case you don't know already. I'll show you. Garden Goat. And then here, it opens like this, and I made this pouch to keep like the laptop safe in here while we're moving around. More DC plugs and, you know, just storing things like memory cards and stuff here. Here I just hang my gym bag. This is where I have all my shampoo and stuff to take to the gym to shower, and I just hang my towel up to dry here. That's what that's used for. So moving into the bedroom. So we have a step that goes up into the bedroom. And of course we use that as storage. So open it up, we got storage under there. We got storage under here. This leads into the back, like underbed storage. I use this as my laundry hamper, dirty clothes in there, and under storage access. Normally this is in bed mode, but of course for the sake of the video, we are gonna have it in seat mode. So this is a U shape. Just get up here like this. It can seat probably at least 5 people, maybe even 6. The table is on a lagoon arm, so it moves around. So it's easy to like get in and out. It's also adjustable. It can be lowered or raised. These seat cushions, I made them. I just purchased a memory foam double mattress and cut it to size and just cut the individual pieces out. Then I made covers for them that are made out of waterproof material and covered the entire cushion. And then I made this slip cover, gray fabric. I made this cover to go over it. There's a zipper on it so it can be taken off and washed, so that's nice. And so far I really like them. This was the first time I learned how to use a sewing machine. Quite a learning curve, but when it's in bed mode, I just use this under part as storage. So this foot part, normally there's a bunch of crap under here. So here you can see the lagoon arm swivels and moves like so. Got a mirror there. It's just stuck on by double-sided tape. Once again, we made use of the skeleton of the van and made these little cubbies. I don't use them much because they're really shallow. There's not much you can put in there. So I just turn them into plant holders, and these are fake from Michael's. I thought they looked really cute that way. And I made these curtains. It started off with just the thermal ones, but I thought it needed a little bit of color and brightness, so I got this peacock fabric and I absolutely love it. This is my little genie bottle. All my wishes come true. It's dark now, but you can pull it back and see outside as well in the back doors. We got windows back there. This is our MaxxAir Fan. It stopped working about a year ago and I haven't gotten it fixed yet. So I don't use it as a fan anymore, but it's okay because I just use other fans as the fans to help pull air through. But I can open and close it, so it's nice to help circulate the air. Alright, I think that's about it for seat mode, so I know you want to see how we turn this into a bed, so I'll do my best to show you that. We do have another smoke detector right here by the bed, and of course we have the dimmer lights so we can set the mood in here. Brown chicka wow wow. And we're all ready for bed. So this van tour is taking a lot longer than I thought it would, and I got a little bit of a late start. So I'm gonna finish it in the morning so we have some daylight to work with and you can see everything better. Good morning. It is the morning. This is what it looks like when the door's closed. I usually keep this heat shield on all the time just because I'm usually in the city where I want privacy, and this is a huge window as you can see. I'll take it off just for the sake of the video though. Yeah. So I'll show you how we use the swivel seat. Oh, that's nice. It's been a while since I've done this. Okay, I also wanted to show you the skylight. We have the skylight up here. It's by the kitchen. You can close it all the way to completely block the sun out. There's like a reflective on the other side of this to kind of reflect the light out. Helps keep it cool. It's already starting to, there's a little hole here, but you can slide this to have full sun and see the sky. I can lift my hands up all the way with the skylight. It adds a little bit more height. This is how we open it. Just push this, pull it. There are different levels, but I'm gonna open it all the way. So we let some fresh air in, stretch up to the sky. And to keep the bugs out, we have a bug screen here. You can pull it like that. Et voila. And you can do halfway. You can, like, if you just want a little bit of sun, you can do that. So it's perfect. I absolutely love it. So now I'll show you the back of the van. This is storage for things I don't use very much. It's like the garage. And this is also how we fill up the water tank. We have the ladder on the back of the door to go up to the roof to check on the solar panels and roof access. And of course the spare tire we put on the ladder because once we put the gray water tank underneath, there wasn't any more room for the tire, so we had to put it back here. So this is the freshwater tank. It's a 40-gallon tank, goes all the way back, but this is how we fill it up. Open this lever here. I attach this filter. I probably need a new one because this is like 2 years old. First we attach it to the hose. This is a 50-foot hose, and I found that I don't need that long of a hose usually. Usually I can pull up right next to the spigot where I'm filling up. So I got a 10-foot hose, and that helps a lot better. And even if I do have to park really far away and I need a 60-foot hose, I can attach these together and make a really long one. So we just attach it here and then attach it here and then hook this part up to the spigot wherever I'm getting water and just turn it on. Water just goes straight into the freshwater tank. And the way to know that it's full is we can't actually see it. It's covered up. That was probably not a good idea. I don't remember why we decided to do that, but that's just what we did. And this hose is attached to the top of the tank, so when it's full, the water starts coming out the bottom, and that's when I know to turn the water off. And it also lets air escape. The storage goes back pretty far. It goes all the way to the end of the bed, but I just have like a fold-out table, composting stuff. I have my big vinegar here that I use to refill all the bottles inside. There's some other big items back there, my backpack. We do have some outlets here and a light. So I have some tools here. This is like the control panel for all the electrical. We got the batteries back there, and the inverter is there. MPPT 150 smart solar charge controller, Victron Energy. We have one big battery back there. It's a 12 volt 120 amp Victron Energy battery and inverter. I thought we had two, but I guess there's just one back there. That's all I see. So that's what supplies all our energy for like running the refrigerator, and the fan for the toilet. Those run constantly, and it just runs off of the batteries back here, and I've never had a problem with it so far. Also, I have an app on my phone that lets me know how much solar I have left. I usually always have 100% because I never use enough just by myself. I have some holes cut out here to access the underbed storage just in case. This pulls down. This is an extra charger just in case the solar is not working. We can plug it up to like a grid system in an RV park or something to charge the batteries up. I haven't personally ever had to use it, but it's in just in case. Of course, we have our spark plugs, and then this is our outdoor shower nozzle, and I love this for certain things. This is our outdoor shower. We just hook it up right here, turn it on. There's different settings. There's shower and mist. This is nice if I need to like clean Sadie's litter box or clean something outside. You can shower outdoors. All you have to do is put like a big towel or blanket right here, and you have privacy all around. I love this feature. Another cool thing about the back of the van is that we have built a table underneath. That's why we have the bed built kind of like on a lifted platform. So it pulls out like so. I use it as a table if I'm doing a project I need to spread out and stuff. You can sit on it. It's supposed to take up to like 500 pounds, but I'm not so sure about that. It supports me at least, and maybe another small friend. Oh, I think there's something underneath making it get stuck. It does pull out a lot further. I think it goes all the way to the end of the doors, but there's something stuck underneath there. I have to get out. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so we have two 300 watt solar panels, so 600 watts total. You can see the fan here. It's not open right now. I'll show you a little bit under the van, see what we got going on there. There's a pipe that's always leaking, but that's just how it is. So there's our gas tank. We hooked up the heater to pull gas from the gas tank, so we had to lower it. We made a video about it. I'll post it in the corner up there, but we had to lower the gas tank and install the heating elements, the pump and everything in there, and then put the gas tank back up, and that's how the heater works. It pulls a little bit of gas from the gas tank to generate heat. So this is the gray water tank. This is where the water collects when I run the water, like when I wash my hands or wash the dishes. The water comes all the way back here and collects here. It's 30 gallons. I think it's only been full once, and it kind of backed up into the shower. It was not pretty, but that's the valve that releases the water. I'll show you where that is so I don't have to come back here and do it myself. It's really nice and clean. And I just release the water wherever I think is a good place to release it. It's not anything toxic. It's just I use like biodegradable soap and food waste. So in the parking lots or just on the road or out here, honestly, I don't see a problem with it. Some people might have a problem, but I don't. I think it's fine. Okay, so this is the driver's seat. This is where the water release valve is for the gray water. So I just reach back. Even while I'm driving, I can reach back and just pull it up for a few seconds to let it open, and I can already hear the water pouring out. Come back here like so. it needed to be drained anyway, so we're just gonna let that drain. We have the fire extinguisher here in case of emergencies. This is my bear spray for when I was in Montana. Thankfully I never had to use it. But yeah, it is the longest, tallest floor transit that they make. I don't have a lot of trouble navigating around the city. I mean, it is more challenging than a car, of course. I have to take turns really slow. I can't go super fast on the highway. Getting up and going takes a while. People get frustrated when they're driving behind me, but I've learned not to care. But yeah, overall, I'm really happy with it. It's nice to save money on rent, but gas prices are kind of making that a little obsolete right now. But I can always just stay put. It's a weird lifestyle, but it seems to suit me pretty well. Check out this cactus, it's huge. This one's probably well over 100 years old. But I think that pretty much wraps up the van tour. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I will do my best to answer. If you have any comments, anything nice to say, I love to hear it. And of course, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. And we'll see y'all on the next adventure.